In this video, I'm gonna make the statement that Chinese people can't fight. This coming from a Chinese person myself. That's part of my roots, but born in America. I'm just sharing my observations, criticizing my own people, not necessarily in a negative way. Saying they can't fight, that's not what is in their nature to fight. Um, Chinese people are more artists, more martial artists, but not fighters. It's not in their nature to be fighters. So people that want to be good at fighting shouldn't really be learning from Chinese people, because Chinese people are not good at fighting. If you look at if you don't look at what's going on, my observations. You look at just pure boxing. Pure boxing rules could go international. Same rules could apply to America that are applied in Europe, that are applied in China, that are applied in Japan, and countries all over the world. Same rules, but you don't see any successful Chinese boxers. None throughout the entire history. If you look at the greatest boxers of all time, they're pretty much mostly all blacks. So blacks are really good at fighting. You know what I mean? Like, got Muhammad Ali, Evander Holyfield, now this new guy, Anthony Joshua, Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather. The list goes on and on and on. There were some successful Caucasian and white boxers. The one that comes to mind is Rocky Marciano. But you don't see any, not even one successful Chinese boxer. That says a lot, especially from a country that has over 1 billion people. The entire history, you don't see one successful Chinese boxer. You see a successful Filipino boxer, Pacquiao, but he's not Chinese. That says a lot in itself. Just that alone, that example says a lot. It's not in their nature to box, to fight. They're more passive. They're not as aggressive. It's not in their nature to be aggressive. It's not in their nature to be competitive. I just read an article a few days ago. It wasn't from China, but I think it might have been from Thailand, where they said somebody insulted the royal family and he got like 42 years in jail for it, because he posted something on Facebook that insulted the royal family, and he got something about 42 years prison sentence. It says a lot when you see these different cultures and these different countries and how they control their people. Over there, they're not allowed to be outspoken. Just speaking something, criticizing something, they could be put in jail for life. They could be put to death. So it's like their minds through centuries have been raised to be very submissive, be very passive, to be timid, to be afraid, to be scared, to not speak, to remain silent. It's within their culture, it's within their blood. And Americans are the opposite. The Americans love to rebel against authority, and they say whatever they want to say and do whatever they want to do. America is like the highest rates of violence, of murder, of death. America is very aggressive, very violent. America loves fighting. And China is like the opposite. You know, now it's not saying that they can't become violent. They can through American influence. So, you know, as an example, if MMA is popular in America, you know, they could try to push that to become popular in China, and then they could become violent too. And then there might be, you know, they might turn into a lot of fighters. The potential is there. But I'm saying currently, my observations shows that they are not fighters. Another example is football. It's not big in China like in America. So the whole NFL, to my knowledge, you don't see any Chinese football player or successful Chinese football player. So not in boxing, not in football. Now basketball, they just had, you know, maybe Yao Ming. But other than Yao Ming, where are the Chinese basketball players? There's certain things where they're naturally good at and certain things that they're not. You know, and look at the 100-meter dash. Never in history do you see a Chinese person winning that race, with being like a gold medalist, being the world record holder. Usain Bolt, black. Football players, a lot of the successful ones are black and white. Boxing. These are all some of the most competitive sports that you could get into. And even with the recent cage fight, you don't see any Chinese fighter going in there being successful. It's all black, Caucasian, maybe Hispanic. Maybe some here and there, some Japanese, some. But where are the Chinese? You know, so even comparing China to Japan, Japan has a lot more fighters than they do in China. China, they don't have fighters. They're not known to be good at fighting. They're known to be good at art and maybe something like gymnastics, martial artists. You know, China's known to produce martial artists, not fighters. So if you want to learn martial arts, you learn from the Chinese. But if you want to learn how to fight, you don't learn from the Chinese. You know, you learn from the blacks. You know, they are built to fight. Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Tupac. You know, you even see these news sportscasters. Like I saw some videos on Stephen A. Smith, for example, and he's just really outspoken. And the successful black boxers, the successful black football players, the successful black basketball players, it's like successful black track and field runners. Like, they dominate in those areas of fighting and competitiveness. But that's not what the Chinese are built for. You know, that's my observations. The facts are laid out right before my eyes. This is what I see. You know, so all this debate about what is the best style, what is the best martial arts to practice, that's all subjective to what you want out of the martial arts. Do you want to become a fighter? If you do, then don't learn from a Chinese person. You know, find like a Mayweather, a Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali. Find the people that are good at fighting and learn from them. Anthony Joshua, who's undefeated right now. But those are not martial artists. If you want to learn from martial artists, then you can learn from Chinese people. You know, a Bruce Lee, a Jet Li, a Donnie Yen, Jackie Chan, you know, these are the known ones. Chow Yun Fat or whatever. I mean, it's just, China's known to create martial art movies. China's known to have Chinese actors in martial art movies. They're known for more of a balanced expression with more meditation, more peacefulness, less aggression. And I'll even say an example is also India. You know, you don't see, like China, you don't see successful Indian boxers, successful Indian football players, successful Indian basketball players. I mean, like China, India is very less aggressive, not very violent. They're very more passive. And India is known to be known for yoga, spirituality, meditation. That's what India is known for. So India and China are the ones that are naturally more meditative, more artistic rather than competitive and athletic and all about the sports. America is known for sports and competition, winning, ego, pride, aggressiveness, violence, fighting. So America has a lot of yang, and a lot, you know, some of the expressions from Japan, it would be the same. Even some from Thailand, because, you know, they're known for the Thai boxing. But in particular, when it comes to China and India, you see those two countries, they're not known for that. So if you want to be a fighter, don't learn from the Chinese, don't learn from the Indians. Learn from the people in the countries of where in their culture, that's what they do. China is known for the martial arts. India is known for the spirituality, the meditation. And those are the observations that I see, you know, that I wanted to share.